Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we are talking about two brand new knives. One of them is even so new we don't actually have the knife to look at, but it's going to be pretty easy for me to describe to you guys because they're my designs. We are going to be talking about a new version of the LC Thoron. Now, this is not the new version, obviously. This is just the original Thoron, but we're going to use this as an example to look at as I describe the changes and additions to the new version coming out. And then in this pouch, we also have my design that's coming out through Artisan Cutlery here, I believe in Q2. Late Q1 or Q2. So we'll talk more about this in much more depth. But first, I want to cover the Thoron and just what to expect from the LC Thoron. Now, this is the regular Thoron. The name LC Thoron, we're going to go into a little more detail when I actually have the knife to review and overview with you guys and talk about. But what I want to talk about are the important things you need to know leading up to the drop. So first of all, this new version of the Thoron is going to be a top liner lock. It's not going to be a button lock. I think it's going to be an improvement because I will say the button lock action on this has stayed fantastically consistent and very good since the day I got it. Vosti did a great job with this. But it's no secret that I think I just do like top liner locks more at this point. I like that crisper detent, and you still have the whole button lock type of good action and fidget factor. So we're going to have the top liner lock on there. Also, we're going to have a very nice finger choil on the blade, which is going to make the whole knife itself a little bigger. Going to have a little more blade length, slightly more handle length. So it's just going to be overall a bigger version of what you see right here. Another really big improvement that we're making that looking back on it, I wish I would have just done it on the first time round. But we're going to have the filler tab for left and right hand carry. So that's going to hopefully make a lot of lefties happy out there. There's going to be some, I believe, like some rose gold PVD coated blades. There's going to be, I believe, blue and black micarta versions. There's going to be some pretty sweet options available, but the most important part of all this is they're going to be exclusive to White Mountain Knives. So if you guys haven't heard of White Mountain Knives, you should because they're fantastic. Most of you probably have. White Mountain Knives is you'd probably consider them a small business up in New Hampshire, I believe. And they are just a fantastic knife retailer within the community. I've been working with White Mountain Knives for quite a while. I still have a discount code through them, WSW10. You can use that on any knives there at the website. And I just cannot wait to see these guys come to life through White Mountain Knives. So keep your eyes up. Keep your eyes peeled for those coming. I believe in Q2 as well. And they're actually available on White Mountain Knives website. I'll link White Mountain Knives below. Be sure to hop on there. You can take a look at the pictures and sign up for email notifications so you'll know exactly when the LC Thoron becomes available. And I'm very excited to tell the story of the LC Thoron. Really cool story behind it. I think you guys will enjoy it. So that is that for the new version of the Thoron. It's going to be very good. I'm super excited. And now we're going to take a look at this guy. This is a brand new design, and I am really happy with how it's come so far. Now, keep in mind, I do have some changes that are going to be made to this that we will cover throughout this overview. But what we have here is the Artisan Cutlery. I really botched the first flip on my freaking prototype. This is the Artisan Cutlery Fragar Rock. Now, before I go into the overall specs on this guy, if you guys are still watching, thank you for tuning in today. Hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I'm going to continue to bring you the content and hopefully a lot of new designs in the future. But let's take a look at this guy. We'll talk about it and go over some improvements that I'm going to be making. And also, I want to get your guys' thought on this as well. So what we have here right now, and again, these specs are very close, but not to the exact decimal. We are looking at an overall length of 8.5 inches, a blade length of 3.7 inches, blade thickness at 127 thousandths, S90V will be the blade material. That's already been decided. We have a clip point style blade with a flat grind. Handle length coming in at 4.8 inches with the handle thickness at 462 thousandths. Now, for the handle material options, there's going to be a good amount of selection. You're going to have this option right here, which is going to be a full tie handle construction, but then there's also going to be titanium handles with carbon fiber inlay. It's going to be some different types of fat carbon. One of my personal favorites, we got some crosscut carbon fiber coming on, so that's going to be really, really nice. It's a more simple carbon fiber, but you don't see it enough. I've always wanted to see it more on knives, so I made the request, and Artisan Cutlery was able to get some, so I'm excited to see that. This is going to be a right hand only tip up carry, only because it's a frame lock. So, I don't know. I didn't want to have that big opening down here for the clip. So, sorry lefties, this was going to be right hand only. Weight coming in at very roughly 5.2 ounces. Again, this is a pretty big knife. And price, I believe, I'm not even sure on the price yet. So I'm actually kind of guessing here, but I'm assuming this is going to be somewhere in that $199 range, which is kind of the going rate for the premium knives from Artisan Cutlery. So I think that's a safe bet. Maybe the fat carbon versions might be a little more, but that's about where we stand now. Let's take a look at some size comparisons real quick, because this is a big knife. I wanted to design a big knife, and I was really happy to be able to do that with Artisan. This here is the Civivi Praxis, and this here is the Civivi Conspirator. Two very well-known knives, and I think that'll give everyone a pretty good idea of just how big this knife is. I mean, this is a big knife, which is what I wanted. I think so far it's turned out really good. Now, there's a couple things that I really need to get fixed on this, though, because there's a couple things that are really annoying me. And again, this is a prototype, so I didn't expect it to be perfect. Now, when it comes to the blade, though, I really don't have many issues with the blade. So a little backstory on this. Some of the design inspiration came from my love for Indy cars. This is kind of weird. So I started this design with an Indy car in mind. Just Google IndyCar side view is pretty much what I used. And you'll kind of see up here in the blade cutout, Indy cars have what's called an aero screen that goes over the cockpit of the car. That's kind of where this blade cutout comes from, is the aero screen and that angle of the aero screen leading up and around the cockpit. And then, of course, the nose of an Indy car kind of slants down. Now, where things kind of got goofy was, obviously, Indy cars are flat to the ground, so there's no real belly, but I didn't want to make this a Warncliffe. I struggled with incorporating a Warncliffe into this type of a handle shape, so I just made it a clip point. I gave it the belly. I kind of started to stray just a little bit away from my IndyCar inspiration, and I kind of kept the IndyCar vibes going on the back. If you guys haven't seen the side view of an IndyCar, it's got side pods to help with aerodynamics of the car and whatnot. So I kept the inspiration going. I felt like I lost a little bit of that IndyCar vibe with the belly on the blade, but I just didn't want to make it a Warncliffe. I really like how the belly works with the lines of the handle and just kind of flows a little better. So that was where the design inspiration came from. And then ironically, I couldn't really think of a name that was cool enough or didn't sound good enough for me that was IndyCar related. So then I just started looking up unique names that I thought would work. And I came to Fragar Rock. Fragar Rock stems from Irish mythology, or Irish mythology. And I'll include a little definition in the description of the video of where Fragar Rock comes from. But yeah, so that's kind of how we got to where we are. Indy cars and Irish mythology. Quite the mixed mashup there. But you know what? I am happy so far where we're at with it. I'm really enjoying this. It feels very, very good in the hands. A lot of people are going to like that. I think this is going to be a knife that's going to feel good to big hands and small hands. It will probably favor big hands a little more, but there's so much room in this curve right here, the bit of the extra width you get towards the bottom of the handle. It works really well in positioning your fingers, basically your bottom three fingers, because up here you kind of have this choilish area that works really good to just choke up on the blade and get a really good solid purchase. So I am digging the ergos. I think all in all that's coming along pretty well. A couple points that are really annoying me is we need to have much more of a relief in here by the lock bar. There's really no relief right now. So it's actually very easy to disengage the lock, but there's no way, after all the times I complained about lack of access to the lock bar, that I'm going to let this slide. So we will be getting some beveling in there, getting a little bit of a wider space to get that thumb in and disengage the lock to close the blade. Also, over here on the clip, we don't have near enough of a ramp towards the end of the clip. I was having a little trouble getting this through my pocket hem, so we're going to widen that up here and open that up a little more so it's going to easily go into your pocket. And then once it gets into your pocket, it actually carries very nicely, and there's not much of the knife sticking out, about that much. So it's going to hide really well in the pocket. It's not very thick. It's about, like I said, 462 thousandths, which is thinner than the average handle, I would say. And yeah, it carries very well in the pocket. So in terms of from a carry aspect, it's good. Ergos, I think they're really good. And the blade is fantastic. I do love the blade. I like the swedge up here that I got going. I like the blade cutout. It's very, very nice for middle finger flicking. The detent, as it is right now, I think the detent is very good, but I don't consider it great yet. I'm hoping we can add just a little something to that detent. But again, even if we couldn't, it's good. It's very good. I would say it's definitely better than average for sure. And you have nice retention in the blade. You're not going to shake this blade out. So it is a strong enough detent in that regard. I just want a little more of a crispy thwack when it comes out. Like I said, though, we're on a scale of 1 to 10, we're at, like, I would say a solid 7 right now. I want to get it up to an 8, 8.5, maybe even flirt with a 9. So still very good. Everything is coming along, I think, fantastically well. Just got to make those improvements. Get some more access milled there into the lock bar. Widen up this ramp on the clip so it's easier to go into the pocket. And hopefully be able to tighten up that detent just a little. But with all that stuff said, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if did I miss a detail? Is there a detail I missed that we need to add to this? Because again, I want, as much as I love this, as much as I enjoy the process, I want the community to enjoy it as well. I want people to enjoy this knife with me. So if I left something out that you think needs to be addressed, let me know. In terms of the micarta or the carbon fiber inlay versions, I'm also going to be changing the inlay pattern. I really don't like, if you've seen, there's been pictures of them floating around online. There's been pictures, obviously there were some samples at SHOT Show if you were at SHOT Show. I don't like where the inlay design is up here. I like the inlay towards the bottom of the handle, but I want to change the actual layout and the milling pattern to put the inlay in up towards the top because I think that definitely needs some changes. But all in all, I am excited. I think this is going to be a very, very solid offering from Artisan Cutlery. I'm pretty confident it's going to do well. And, again, yeah, just happy to do this. This has been fun. You know, I've been kicking around the industry for a while now. And to be able to really start coming out with some designs, it's just a blast. It's just a blast. And the coolest thing is when people actually really enjoy them. Like, I love hearing about everyone's thoughts of the Thornton. There was such a good response from that. I am very confident the LC Thoron is going to surpass that. And I really hope that the Artisan Cutlery Fragar Rock also gets high reviews and some praises from others within the knife community. So that is it, guys. Let me know what you think. I hope you're excited about both of these new offerings. If you're more excited about one than the other, let me know that as well. And of course, anything else you want to see done to the Fragar Rock, let me know. We'll see what we can do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.